couple summers back, lying on the grass of the Southbank, the London Eye gazing over the frozen robots, the buskers, and some frankly terrifying homemade costumes depicting well-known Disney characters, creating garish caricatures of what are already, let's face it, rather exaggerated versions of a mouse, a lady mouse. What even is Goofy? Badger? Me and a few friends are sat in a daydream. Isn't it amazing what a bit of sun does to the paint scheme? London, today the mundane has done one. London, you've outdone yourself. I'm in love again, I'm sure, all because I can wear shorts and put my gloves in a drawer. A man approaches, asking for a lighter. He's probably in his late 60s. He sits down and lights up. His voice is soft and warm. He's from the northeast. He reminds me of my friend's dad, who's also a Geordie. He's been sleeping rough for the past 20 years. Had a nervous breakdown. He lost his house and his wife, and since then, he's been living a travelling life. A proud man. He could be one of our granddads. Si, my best mate, hands him his sandwich. And it seems in poor taste, but I didn't know we'd meet him. My sandwich, I didn't plan this, had already been eaten. By me. His name was Richard, and he'd hitchhiked anywhere you could name, and he made a point of saying he shaved every other day. In Covent Garden, he'd been approached by a lady. He'd had his portrait painted. It was going to be in the paper, but he had no number for them. No way to chase up. No access to the internet. He didn't know which paper. So every day, he'd be going back to Covent Garden, hoping that she'd return there and find him. It was well over a week now, and his hope was declining. It was hard to believe as the evening was getting dark. Later, this old man would be in a sleeping bag in Regent's Park. We gave him some money. He was reluctant to take it. He did ask us though, if we could do him one favour. Anything, Richard. Anytime, any place. And that was when he challenged us to a 100-metre race. So we lined up, and then he definitely did a false start. He Usain Bolts out the blocks like a flipping go-kart. And I was going to let him win, but now I'm like, Jesus. I'm not sure my athletic charity is needed. And after the race, which was probably a draw or something, we're all exhausted, but he wants to do it all again. The years have fallen off him like a trolley free of shopping, running about like the children we'd forgotten we once were, and still are really. And as we run, I feel like I see it more clearly. And I wonder if tourists who saw us in the distance thought that they were witnessing the London 2012 Olympics. We told him to come to our band's next gig. He said bouncers usually wouldn't let him in. We said, don't worry man, we'll put you on the list. We'll buy you beers and dinner, you'll be treated like a king. But we never did see Richard again. But every so often I find myself thinking of him. And if we crossed paths, I hope I'd recognise his face. And under a London sunset, we could have another race.